One of the most crucial aspects to fostering good relationships with other people is the sense of belonging. So this feeling of being understood, of having expectations that get met, being validated in a way that is fulfilling. So if you're somebody who totally fucks up in this category, this video is for you. If you're somebody who gets continuously disappointed, who constantly has this feeling of being misunderstood, you must understand that the majority of your disappointment stems from your expectations. And I think you know this, but you probably want to figure out, why are my expectations not being met? Am I doing something wrong? Are they doing something wrong? And today's your lucky day, because I will give you some steps that you can implement into your daily thought process that will give you more clarity and hopefully reduce some of the unpleasant sensations that other people evoke in you. But before we get there, we first have to analyze why you are fucked. There are two big mistakes you're making right now. And the first one is you're too much in your head and not enough in reality. And the second one is you are not discerning strictly enough between the depth of understanding that other people have for you. And you're going to understand exactly where I'm trying to get with this in just a couple minutes. As a result from the disappointment, you may fear that other people do not like you or that you're inadequate. But to be honest, it's not that deep. People are just busy with their own lives and will only take the time to figure out what's going on with you if there's a clear signal. And that's obviously something you can influence. You see, as somebody like myself who's been constantly disappointed by other people in the past, but now realizes that the majority of that disappointment stems from my own flawed communication and expectations, this way of thinking naturally opens so many doors to real and authentic connections. And why should it not do the same for you? So let's now come to the first step you should remind yourself of on a daily basis, and that is internal versus external perception. You see, the misalignment in what you are feeling and what you want to feel stems from a discrepancy between what you are feeling inside and what other people are sensing from outside. So if you want any chance of other people showing empathy, you have to reduce this gap as much as possible. At best, have no gap at all. It's not that others don't want to help you, it's just that they struggle to figure out if you need help in the first place. Like if you're somebody who doesn't show that much facial expression or who generally is just not that emotional in character, how do you expect other people to figure out what's going on with you? They can't just read a poker face. The second step that you should remind yourself of on a daily basis is that your friends aren't your parents. This may seem obvious, but quite frankly, it's not, just by looking at the way how you set up your emotional expectations. This is why the discrepancy that I mentioned in step 1 exists in the first place. You see, your parents watch you grow up from the day you were born, so every facial expression, every particular body movement, every emotional event they saw. It was literally their job to take care of you when you were growing up and to detect if something was ever wrong. They've become so good at it that it's naturally coded into their brains. They don't need the signals that other people need in order to understand what's going on with you, which is why this discrepancy is not like this between internal and external perception, but more like this, or even non-existent. I mean, just think about it. Just remember those days where you came home from school or from a meetup with some friends, and even though you didn't show that much emotion, your parents were able to detect, often the mother, that something's off with you, that something's just not right, and you didn't even have to show anything. Like, they put in all the work to come towards you. You didn't go towards them. And that's the problem. If you're somebody who's still young and used to this nurturing dynamic, you are naturally going to expect the same in friendships, relationships, people who you want to trust, people who you just generally want to bond with, without you even consciously noticing. And every time the subconscious expectation doesn't get met, so when you expect people to come to you without putting in that much effort to come towards them and show what's going on with you, your brain detects a conflict between what you are expecting and what you are receiving. And that conflict results in you feeling disappointed, misunderstood, neglected, unheard, and perhaps even betrayed. And understanding this is so fucking important. Like, if there's one thing you should learn from this video, it is that you can't apply one dynamic from an interpersonal relationship to another. It's like applying an investment strategy for bonds to fucking Bitcoin. It won't yield you positive returns. The expectation you have in other people must be adjusted to what they are actually capable of doing, not what you want them to do. And you might ask, why? Well, unfortunately, neither they possess your brain nor the brain of your parents. These two steps that we just covered will totally change the way how you set your expectations in the future in regards to other people. And therefore make sure that you're not wasting your time, but also not wasting other people's time. Because there's nothing more annoying than having a misalignment in what you expect from another person and what that person is able to give you. I mean, just think about friendships, relationships. I mean, in relationships that can actually be pretty fucking brutal. Even at work, like all of these scenarios are just so fucked. But there's one last thing I should remind you of, and that is, for the majority of situations in which other people disappoint you, you often have a role to play. But there are some situations where you simply do not. Even when being the best communicator and setting your expectations correctly, even then, you will still be fucked over. And to be honest, the best thing then is to distance yourself as soon as possible from the individual or from the individuals involved in that situation. Anyway, I hope I was able to provide you with a bit of clarity. If I was able to make you, even in the slightest, think a little bit about yourself, then I've accomplished my job. And the only thing I can tell you is, see you in the next one.